So let's start with the City Council work session where they met with residents of Greenbelt Station and issues that have arisen once folks have settled in.
Yeah. You know, to me, the bottom line of that meeting and of this article is that there are some growing pains, but they're being identified, and some solutions are being floated. Life isn't perfect, but you know, the engagement process, bringing Greenbelt Station into the city of Greenbelt, orb or embrace is happening. That to me is the bottom line. So, for example, parking. There's parking issues. Apparently, many people are using their garages more for storage and for their cars, and so they're parking on the streets, and there's probably other reasons too why there's a lack. And so, trying to think through solutions, maybe making the two main drives, North and South Center Drive, one way, which would provide parking on both sides of the street. Somebody raised the issue of parking at the parking garage by the apartments. The HOA says it's not interested in that at the moment.
Not thrilled with that at all.
Not thrilled, no. So anyway, so parking is an issue, maybe a permit system, but that would be very expensive to
implement, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, they're working on it. It's something that's happening. So, stay tuned.
Right. And I guess they touched on with police issues, and these seem pretty minor, except one: dog waste, leash laws, and package theft. Which
so when I see dog waste on the list of security issues, I'm thinking, probably not too bad a place to live, not too insecure. Theft is nothing to laugh at, though, and package theft and also theft from construction sites. And so looking at solutions, maybe for the police to make use of security cameras, local, that people would have, or that you could give footage. They would have a broader net.
Right.
To get information,
and that's something that we can cover more when we get to the
because it's raised also at this in another article. That's right.
And I guess they also met with the recreation department to discuss their needs. I guess they like the idea of the outdoor movies and other things that have happened.
Right. Yeah. Greg Varda came to talk to them, the director of rec, and also there was talk about an exercise facility of some sort. I don't know if that's. I didn't quite get it from the article. Whether that's going to be outside or what, but some sort of an exercise venue, as well as some community building events or something like that. So, and then a trail update, groundbreaking, the long-awaited. We're still waiting.
I feel like we're building the pyramid here.
Something like that, yeah. But the groundbreaking in winter of 2020, which I hope means this winter. It has to be. Hopefully.
Oh, I'm hoping, yeah.
I'm just assuming that, yeah. And then 18 months later, so so maybe September of 2021. I think I've seen that date before. So.
Great, I hope so.
Okay.
So we're moving from a work session to a regular full city council session, and they touched on Forest Preserve, some police requests, and Bureau of Engraving and Printing.
Yeah, so the police requests, it was mostly about tech issues, tech that's used to do their law enforcement work. Particularly, one was about renewing a contract with a company that provides body cameras and software that helps them sift through evidence and maybe a taser training or something. So to renew that contract, there was also an MOU with a company that is designed, and this is what we mentioned earlier, about that a company that would allow for getting evidence from the public.
Right, from people who use the Ring service, and I think Google has its own version of this too.
Okay. Yeah, and so there are some concerns. There were people at the meeting, Bill Orleans raised concerns about privacy.
Right, and about whether or not future officials will be as benevolent as they are now, right?
That's right, which, so the good news is that he recognized, and we all recognize, that our current police, hierarchy, they're very community-oriented, very much supportive of transparency, and behave pretty much like society wants law enforcement and needs them to behave. But he was thinking, oh gosh, what about the future?
Right.
So.
One of the things that this company that does the body cameras, I like the idea that they also provide de-escalation training with a concentration with, mental health problems, which,
All too often, mental health, I understand, issues and law enforcement involvement sometimes, meet, they mesh. And so, yeah, I was happy to see that there was training involved with this contract. So,
and
that's good.
Oh, I'm sorry to step on you there. The council reacted or discussed the Bureau of Engraving and Printing and the move here.
Yeah, that just sounded to me like it was sort of, they were reflecting on the state of where it stands right now, where the proposal stands. And also, so for example, Rodney Roberts and maybe someone else, maybe Bill Orleans again, commented that at the meeting, at the open house, a couple weeks ago that we reported on, it didn't appear to him as though they were very responsive or that they didn't take in
the public comments, right?
Public comments. Right. Now, we addressed that last week, and they alleged that they did, but it didn't appear to some, including Mr. Roberts, that they were. So.
And I think some people want to extend the public comment period. And, Terry Ruby raised an issue of this is either build or no build. And I think she was curious why other sites are no longer under consideration. And that's a story still developing, I think, right?
Yeah, that's right. And this is still a long-term thing. So I think this first phase of public comment is finished, has closed. But now they're continuing with this site evaluation, environmental impact plan, I think it's called. And when that comes out, there'll be another period for the public to respond and to talk.
Right. Lastly, there is the proposal to build the 354 rental unit project on Cherrywood Lane. And it's referred to as Capitol Office Park, but I think it's actually across the street, right?
It is. We reported on this. The article references a 2018 work session, which we reported on, and it is across the street. You should think of it more almost next to the courthouse.
Correct. Yep.
The federal courthouse is really where it's going to be, next door. So, yeah, practically, I think, a 19-acre tract of land. They were hoping, the council was hoping, and like so many other things, what the council wants or believes, they have little impact.
Exactly.
They have no legislative authority to do much except express their opinions, and we hope that the developers and those others involved, PG County, will listen to our concerns and include them. They were hoping for some more commercial stores, commercial area in this development, but that for whatever reason the developers said that wasn't economically feasible. Their intent is to build housing near transportation. They're doing this near several other metro sites, and this is a national company. They're based in Ohio. They do similar things across the country. Jay Davis pointed out at the meeting that it's pretty expensive. The housing that will be developed seemed pricey, and that the city is very concerned about affordable housing. We hear that about the Beltway Plaza development. We hear that Mr. Roberts talks about that. A lot of people do talk about the importance, and Jay mentioned it at that meeting.
Right, and an issue that Rodney often raises is the high cost of providing services to future residents, right?
Yeah, it's a drum that he beats, and he's right. People who move here will expect to have their roads cleared, will expect to have not overcrowded schools they can send children to, and so forth, on and on and on, all the city. And Greenbelt is a city that tries hard, in my estimation, within their budget, within whatever, to provide adequate to good to excellent services. And so saying, okay, we're piling more people in, we got to balance that somehow.
Sure, where does that tipping point occur?
Yeah.
So thanks for bringing us up to speed on things happening in Greenbelt this week.
My pleasure.